welcome to Bookmas video 2. We're going to be talking about our December TBR. I have a few books that I want to read this month, but I'm going to be so real with you guys. I don't really like making TBR videos. I don't like setting expectations that I won't reach. For example, the books that I list in this video may not be read, but I want to read them this month. But no promises, because I'm going to be real quick. I work a 9 to 5, correction, 8 to 5. And when I get home from work, I really just want to lay on the couch and watch YouTube or watch TV. By the time I get the chance to read, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. It's done. And this past weekend, the last weekend of November, I ended up picking up a puppy. I got Ollie a little brother. He's 11 weeks. I'll include some videos and pictures and stuff, but he is precious. I think we're naming him Frankie. I don't know. That's just the name that's sticking with me right now, and that just sounds like a fun, happy name. But he just looks like a Frankie. I don't know. He's a red hair mini dachshund, and he's gorgeous. He's beautiful. I love him so much, and I'm so glad that him and Ollie are starting to like each other. I was really nervous at first, but with that being said, I'm going to be pretty preoccupied. So if I don't get to read all these books, that is okay. Bear with me. But these are the books that I would definitely want to read this month. So for the first book, we have Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I could be saying that wrong, but I have seen my favorite booktuber Heather McClary talk about it, and I decided that I want to try it out too. So it's actually about if I'm correct, I'm also just going off of memory right now. It's a book based off 8 people whose bus gets forced off the road and they get stranded at a cabin in the Colorado mountains. Keep in mind it's winter, obviously, and it's snowing, so they're snowed in. But then one of them shows up gruesomely murdered, and it's almost like one by one that group of 8 is showing up dead. So somebody in this group or on the outside, somebody is killing them. So it's like a thriller horror book, but I just came back from Colorado and it's Christmas time. So winter. Texas we don't get a winter, but you understand what I'm talking about. So what better way than to spice things up with a thriller horror Christmas winter book than by Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. So for the next book, it's going to be Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. Basically, I pulled up Goodreads on my iPad, and it says he's a ghost of Christmas past, and she's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas Past, Nolan Callahan. I love the name, Callahan, the last name for some reason. Intends to spend his holiday haunting like every other. Get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost, awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, I feel like that's such a New York name. Maybe I'm wrong. The sweetest assignment he's ever had. He suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. So basically, a ghost falls in love with a present woman, and let me see. A people pleaser to her core, she always does what's expected of her. But as she and Nolan begins to examine her past, they discover there are threads that bind them together. A silver string moment. Okay. And with the deadline of Christmas Eve fast approaching, will they find the key to their futures in each other's past? Or will they stay firmly in the present, indulging in their unexpected spirited connection? Interesting. I'm looking at the cover, and again, it's beautiful, and that's what really led me to want to read more about it. But basically, it's just like a paranormal romance. Paranormal just being like the ghost. And this is going to be something very new to me. I've not read a book like that. So I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. But that's one on the book or on my list to read this December. I guess in a way I could have started with this one. I've started this book already, but it's Snowed In by Catherine Walsh. It's an interconnected series. So this is the second book, And obviously, that means you can pick up wherever you want to, but keep in mind there will be some like side characters within that book that have their own book somewhere in that series. I'm only a little bit in, maybe like 10% of the way through in there. It's basically about this girl named Megan, and she's a runaway bride. And she ends up, there's fake dating in this, by the way. There is some fake dating. They end up running to each other into the like a Dublin bar, like a pub, and Lord have mercy, Megan and a guy named Christian run into each other again after already running into each other on the day of her wedding. So, some context. There's not really a spoiler, but context. Whenever she ran away from her wedding, she ran into him outside, and he kind of had like a small little moment. And then fast forward to like a year or some odd months forward, they end up finding each other again in the bar when she got not really stood up from her date, but she was about to be, or so she thought. And they ran each other at the bar again. And from then on, I have not read further, but it's supposed to be fake dating. They obviously get snowed in, and some feelings show. And let's see what it says. Oh yeah, I see. She's a village paria, whatever. The she-devil who left local golden boy Isaac at the altar 4 years ago and ran away to the big city. She could really do without the drama, particularly as he's engaged again. And she's just been dumped for the fourth time this year. Christian's fed up of being on his own every Christmas. So basically, it's kind of like I help you, you help me. It's kind of that kind of situation. But there's some fake dating in it, and you gotta love some fake dating. And rules are drawn up. A contract is signed on a wine-stained napkin. That's actually kind of cute. They will sit through each other's family gatherings and be outrageously in love until freed from their annual obligations. Well, they're going to fall in love after that. And I will eat it up 100%. But with everyone home for the holidays, two big families to deal with alongside old friends, old flames, and old feelings, things are bound to get messy. That is the con of fake dating. They get so messy, but what's a good book without some drama? Am I right? And when a snowed in cabin and a little Christmas magic are added to the mix, anything could happen. A swoon worthy and utterly gorgeous romantic comedy that will make you laugh out loud and completely fall in love. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I've heard of it a few times every time around this year, and I was like, you know what? We're just going to read it. We're going to give it a try, and we're going to read it. So, yeah, this one I'm actually in the middle of right now. I'm not that far into it, but I have started it. I just filmed a video with talking about 2 books that I was going to read, and this mic ended up just turning off. I probably ended up turning it off. I just didn't realize it. So it didn't have any sound. So we're going to redo all this again. So the next book that we're going to be reading is Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I love Lynn Painter, and obviously I'm very excited for this, and I know it's just going to be so good. It came out in September of this year. Obviously, there's fake dating in this, fake dating in this, obviously from fake skating. And let me just go ahead and read the synopsis off the book, because that's just, it's better than me explaining it, because I know I'm not going to explain it that well. From playdates on the playground to sneaking into movie theaters, Danny and Alec were inseparable until Danny moved away. Flash forward years later, and Danny is back in Minnesota after her parents' devastating divorce. Dealing with the fallout of her parents' breakup, Danny attempts to rekindle her friendship with the cozy and comforting Alec that she's missed, who has strangely been MIA since Danny moved away. But teenage Alec is nothing like the kid Danny remembers. He is the hockey star in town where hockey players are worshipped like gods. Instead of Danny following him around, Alec now has a line of fans drooling all over him, and he loves it. But when one thing leads to another, and Danny and Alec find themselves thrown together to play the roles of boyfriend and girlfriend, complicated becomes an understatement. Their fake relationship forces the duo to face their true feelings toward each other, along with the real reasons why they have been absent from each other's lives for so long. Whew. Basically,
Alec, I love you, and I can't wait to read about you.
Okay, so obviously technology is not liking me today. I literally filmed that video and then I ran out of storage on my phone. Because I film on my phone and my camera is way too bulky and sometimes it just acts up. And you know what? We're just going to do what we can do. So, back to what I was saying. The last book for my TBR, we're going to be doing The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. Basically, that first sentence on the synopsis says Knives Out gets a rom com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery from New York Times bestseller author Ali Carter. So that's a lot. Knives Out is a, I think, movie or a series, but I've heard a lot of good things about it and I kind of want to watch it, honestly. And I might after this. Who knows? But before I try to even guess how to do the synopsis, I'm just going to read this off to you myself. Basically, the phones are down and the most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 3 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She's the new queen of cozy mystery, and he's Mr. Big Time Thriller guy, but she hates his guts. So basically, he writes this, she writes that. Different authors. They hate each other. Something happens. They fall in love. I'm actually just guessing. I have no idea. But that's how we're gonna I put my money on that. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She's vanished from her locked room, and Maggie has to wonder, is Eleanor in danger, or is it all kind of some test? Is Ethan the competition, or is he the only person in that snowbound mansion that she can trust? As the snow gets deeper and the stakes get higher, every clue will bring Maggie and Ethan closer to the truth, and to each other. Because this Christmas, these two rivals are going to have to become allies, and maybe more, if they have any hope of saving Eleanor, assuming they don't kill each other first. So basically, enemies to lovers. There's some mystery in there. There's some romance. And honestly, I think there's even, like, I guess from reading that, there kind of sounds like close or forced proximity because it kind of sounds like they're going to get snowed in, but they have to work together to basically find out where Eleanor is. And I feel like if I had to put any guesses, I feel like that could be a test. Like Eleanor could be doing this to get them to write a book together, or she could be writing this book about them and they have no idea. Like a real life scenario kind of thing to help her write something. I don't know. But I've seen this book many times around this time of year, and I finally going to try to read it this year because I've heard really good things about it. And I love a good both, like I love romance and I love mystery. So why not put it together? That's going to be the end of this video for day 2. And I'm very excited to keep pumping these out. I will ask you guys, what do you prefer? Do you like morning uploads or afternoon uploads? Morning being like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time, or like 5 to 6 p.m. I could do both, but that kind of helps me understand like a basis of what my viewers like you like to watch, because I'm not able to see that just yet, and that'll help me out a bunch. I'm gonna try to like probably get them out in the mornings, but if you guys prefer, I could do it in the afternoons. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Obviously, we're gonna keep this going for another 12 days. Well, actually, it'd be 10 days left after this video gets out, because we're only doing it till the 12th, and I'm not trying to go too crazy now. This is my first time. So I really enjoyed making this video, and obviously, as you know, TBRs to me are just like a list that you could base your next reads off of, but you may not be able to read all of them yet. I don't like putting that standard on myself because I may not read it, and I don't want to promise you guys that I will read it this month because I know what life happens, and I work a normal 8-hour shift every day, and I get tired when I get home. So I'm going to do my best to get to these books this month, and if not, well, we have January because that's winter also. Well, a Texas winter, you would say. I will get this edited and put out, and I will see you guys next time.